You're listening to Bear Talk, Brisbane Style with Damien the Brizzy Bear and Samson.
Recording.
Hello and welcome back to... I can't even think of the name of my show right now. I've gone blank, isn't that bad? Bear Talk, Brisbane Style with Damien the Brizzy Bear and...
Samson.
So, thank you for joining us to our next lovely podcast, which we're about to record for you. This one is about wokeism, and I know there's a lot of stuff happening around the world at the moment, and also in our state of Queensland. It's
Yes.
What's the word I'm going to say is it is concerning to a lot of people, and I do. Respectfully, I really feel for people who it's affecting, and I reckon that everyone, no matter who you are, or what you are, or what you believe in,
Or where you've been, or where you've come from.
Yes, also true.
Or the colour of your skin.
That everyone has a right to live and exist peacefully within the broader community, and it gives us colour. It gives us vibrancy. It gives us different viewpoints. It makes us grow and learn from each other, and as long as it's done respectfully and with inclusiveness and open-mindedness in mind, it's a wonderful thing to have in the world.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't be going back to a closed world per se, but some things maybe need to come back a little bit, but it's the very rare little bit. Mostly we don't want to go backwards.
Sometimes I feel like we're living in the 1950s again, where, you know, women and trans people had no rights, or the whole LGBTQ plus community had no rights. It's pretty fucking awful.
It is. It really is. Even though I don't want to make a joke of the subject, but I do always say to myself about me that I would be happy being a Mr. Mum. But that's besides the point here. Okay?
Mr. Mum.
That's right.
Love it.
Bear in the kitchen.
Cooking up his porridge.
More than that. So we'll try and make it a bit lighthearted as well, because, you know, it is a serious matter, but also at the same time, it should be a bit lighthearted, because having a bit of fun is always important. So this
I feel
is
like sometimes also if you don't laugh, you just cry. So I think laughter is probably the best medicine sometimes.
And this may scare some people as well, but this is actually a two-part series we're doing this time. So
Two-part series.
It is. Also, in part of this, and in conjunction with this, and I'm going to go on to the other touching subject that everyone has issues, especially in the LGBTI plus communities, is religion.
Religion.
And,
Dum, dum, dum.
and let's. And I just wanted to just go. I just got different ways of thinking of things. I don't know. I know I'm only one person, and you're listening into this podcast, but I just think sometimes just a different viewpoint or different way to look at things. You go, actually, I didn't think of that, and I agree, or I just completely disagree. And either way, you know what? It's fine.
And again, these are our own opinions, and they do not any way align or respectfully... our opinions may be different to the people that are sponsoring us or on our podcast who we are mentioning.
Exactly. Yeah. We this is just our opinions just through the chat, and how I and Samson see the world and the world around us. So yes, we it's just putting it out there, and it's hard. It's really hard for certain subjects, and but also it's good to have an open discussion. So,
100%.
So on the show we go, and so I am going to say also before we get started, one other thing I'm going to mention: the fucking weather. It has been bucketing down with rain, and then we have humidity that's worse than North Queensland. And I am drowning in sweat from the bloody mugginess. And
last night was awful. Like, it was freezing. Like, we had an event last night for the Brisbanes, and it was freezing downstairs, but as soon as you stepped outside, it was like you heading into a sauna. It was
without the fun.
No. It was awfully hot, awfully muggy, and Queensland weather can just fuck off.
But then again, in Victoria, it was snowing in the mountains, so
Go figure.
it is just crazy weather at the
I
moment.
mean, they have 4 seasons in one day anyway.
Well,
so.
that's also true. So my friend in Melbourne had the heater on last night while while all our air conditioners were struggling. Anyway,
I love the cold.
I want mid-range.
Fair.
Mid-range bear. Anyway, so the first thing we're going to read out, I'm going to read out of the, I'm going to say this in a funny voice, the Macquarie Standard Dictionary of Australia, 8th edition.
So
Exactly. So woke out of the dictionary, it means, 1, a past tense of wake, adjective or colloquialism, aware of the racial prejudice and consciousness of its manifestations in society, and wokeness is the noun. And on to my friend Samson here.
I'm reading from the Webster Dictionary, and the term woke is now defined in the dictionary as aware and actively attentive to important facts and issues, especially issues of racial and social justice. And it was originated in African American English, gained more widespread use beginning in 2014 as a part of the Black Lives Matter movement. You're so woke, Damo.
No, terrible. Terrible. Alright, so that's the official dictionary versions. Now, let's break this down, hey?
I love how, sorry to interrupt, but I love how, politicians use the term woke as a bad thing, but actually, when you look at the definition, it's actually a good thing.
Yes, I agree. It's basically trying to shed light on things and change things. So
yeah, in their own stupid opinion.
But not
sorry,
only
that's just my opinion.
No, but the other thing too is you have to remember when you're talking about our community or even the environment and climate change and everything else that's going on in this world at the moment, people are pulling in information from different sources.
True.
And also people are mixing terminology and words together that aren't related. And
so they're basically using their own Wikipedia.
Bingo.
Because, as we all know, Wikipedia can be edited by anybody, so it's not a good resource.
It isn't. No.
Don't ever get your assessment or assignments information from Wikipedia, because you will fail.
Unless you're the one who wrote it, of course, and you've checked your sources.
Well, yes.
And you think that's perfect.
Yes.
But, so I'm just going to quickly talk about, and I'm not going to, I don't have an opinion on this subject. Samson's probably better to deal with it at the moment. So in the Queensland state government at the moment, they're looking to, now, sorry if I get this wrong, I've watched little news snippets. They're looking to ban, drugs Sorry.
They, the health minister is putting in a review, in inverted commas, to the gender clinic, backed off a slight review that they did in a clinic in Cairns, where they found ill practice, also inverted commas, and they're looking to pause, in large inverted commas, gender affirming care, which includes puberty blockers and cross-sex hormone therapy for young people under the age of 18. There are 491 young people on the wait list for gender affirming care. And what this means...
Is that just in our state, Samson? Sorry?
Yes.
Okay.
Just in Queensland. So what this means is that these young people now will not have access to the gender affirming care that is life-saving for them and that they need in order to live. In a nutshell.
Perfectly said.
There has been rallies put up around the whole of Australia on the 8th of February, there was a Trans Day of Action, which was a rally protesting this happening. And it not only happened in Queensland, but it happened all over Australia. Everybody had the Trans Action Day on the 8th of February. There has been other fundraisers and things that have gone on. In fact, I went to one last week that raised $9,050 for the Queensland service called Open Doors Youth Service. And that this $9,050 will go to 3 young people thus far to allow them to go into a private practice for a whole year. So it costs $3,000 in a private practice for a whole year for a young person to get gender affirming care.
Wow.
So we raised enough money to be able to get 3 young people into this practice. There is going to be more fundraising. There is going to be more until some action gets done. And we need to fight hard to make sure that this doesn't go through, basically.
And
Call me woke.
See, I knew Samson would have the answer because I'm not fully au fait with everything, and so I will reserve my comment because you know what? If I don't have the full facts, I cannot comment either for or against, but I will say I do support the trans community, and in that far I will support them. And that is important to me, that everyone has the right, no matter the age,
Yeah.
to live how they want to and not be dictated by bureaucrats.
This is the thing too, like, this came off the back of a review that was done last year to the gender clinic in Brisbane, and the review actually found that they needed more funding to make sure that these young people were taken care of. Yet the health minister and the current government, who shall remain nameless because I don't want to get in trouble, is literally going on their own opinion and what they want to do, rather than crossing their facts. And they're not doctors. They have no training to be a doctor. They're just basically doing it because they can.
That's true.
And the message that they're sending is that they are anti-LGBTQ IAP+, they are anti-women's rights and people who have uterus rights.
Yes.
They are anti-Indigenous. The first week that the government was in power, they took away any version of there ever being a treaty here in Queensland. They're coming for the minority groups because they can. And that's a bunch of bullshit. But we need to stand up and fight back, and we need the government to hear our voices, and boy will they be heard.
Well, that brings me to another topic that Samson politely said. But so Queensland state government's very unique in the rest of the Australian and English Westminster systems. We've only got one house.
We're also a very conservative state.
Which is very ironic because we have a Gold Coast that's
that
has
not so conservative.
It's more like Las Vegas, or Florida, or Miami of America.
Pretty much.
But yeah, we have one house, and so usually the government of the day, because of their numbers in the parliament, can pass any legislation they want because the other side cannot block them because we have no upper house or house of review. So
why is that anyway?
That's because the state Labor government of the 1920s decided that to get their reform agenda through, they will vote themselves out of office and make one house.
Interesting. So what happens if we have a Labor government in charge?
Same rule.
Oh, okay.
So they can put whatever legislation through.
Okay.
That's why Queensland has committee system with a lot of committees outside of Parliament that they try and work bipartisanly together, the parties to work on different things. But at the end of the day, the ruling government has full control of our state.
That's scary.
That's how come we had a Conservative government for 30 years nearly in the 60s, 70s and 80s.
And now the Conservative government is back.
We do. So, and I'm not going to say, and also we've got the issues in America as well, and sorry to the people in America who are going through all that at the moment, and
we're with you.
It's very tough, and it's just so wrong.
Yeah.
So my beliefs in all of this is that you're born.
Really?
Yes, you are born.
Oh my God,
it's
that's so
important.
woke.
That's actually hilarious. So bad. You know, you're born and, you know...
You live, you die.
And pay taxes, yes.
Yeah.
But you have to
work.
be... But you've got to be happy in yourself. And
Yeah.
if someone could not tell me that I could be a gay man and then sent me off to whatever camp I have to be reconverted because of
Good
some...
old conversion camp.
Exactly. Well, not the porn version.
No.
Right, the porn version different. But if it was the government order of the day, you got taken off your parents and whatever, you put there, it'd be fucking awful and so bad.
Well, I'm pretty sure this is what happened to Indigenous people, the stolen generation.
Mm-hmm.
They were taken away from their families and put with, you know, people they didn't know who were white.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it's the same. It's like it's not the same, but you know, because my one was hypothetical. But in some areas, I know that did happen as well with the churches, some churches, I believe. But I just think to myself, if you put yourself into someone else's shoes, and you're looking through their eyes at what's happening to them, and you're saying no, it's not on.
And this is the thing too, like these people who are making these decisions, it doesn't affect them.
Mm-hmm.
And so they don't give a shit. And at the end of the day, it doesn't affect anybody that they're surrounded by that they know of. Like, imagine being a family member of somebody who's making these decisions and you are in the closet because you're too afraid to come out because you know what kind of treatment
Mm-hmm.
you're going to get from your own family. That's fucked. That's so fucked.
It is.
And, like, you know, most, not all, but, you know, most LGBT people know from a young age that that's what we're interested in. And that's who we are as people. And if it wasn't for supportive families and, you know, I know not all people have supportive families in the community, which really sucks. But you have chosen family in a lot of the LGBT community, so lean on your people in those communities. But if we didn't have that support around us, we wouldn't be where we are today. Like, for me, I know if I hadn't have chose to eventually stop hiding who I was and transition, I wouldn't be here. That's a fact. Like, as hard as that sounds and as, like, scary as that is for some people, like, I wouldn't be here. I honestly wouldn't be.
Because you couldn't be who you inside
Yeah.
of you, who you
Yeah.
want to be. Yeah.
I would, and my mum, when I transitioned, she said one thing that stuck with me for a long time. She said, I'd rather have a happier child than a child who isn't in this world anymore.
And that's true.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And, you know, everyone has a right to be who they are, as I said before. And
Yeah.
people, and you know what? It's usually what causes all of this and, you know, and pulls through in trying to bring in other people of the community, even male-only groups. People will try and bring other people in to have a discussion about their lives and what's happening, and supporters of BARE communities and the gay community in general, is that people aren't open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
They have a concept or perceived concept and perceived bias that they've learnt over XYZ years. Yes, I'm going to grant they had to fight for rights back in
100%.
time. I 100% agree with that. That's fine. But also the world has moved, and if they can't open their minds and read up about things and just learn to accept change and also to welcome new people in.
And at the end of the day, we're in 2025.
That's right.
And we're in a world now where, you know, there is less, how do I put it? There's less ignorance in this world, and people are more willing to educate themselves, but there are still some people who need to open their mind, as you said, and open their hearts to realize that we're all human beings. We all end up in the same place, and at the end of the day, you need to just be kind to people and accept that we're all different.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah.
And also, if you don't understand something, and if you go, okay, I'm reading this in the paper or the TV news or whatever it is.
Tabloids are the worst place to get your information because the media always portrays it definitely different.
Well, that's true. But if you go and looking for the resources and the sources, and not only that, not only just reading stuff, I say if you don't understand something, go and learn about it.
Yeah.
Go to a club. Go and
Talk to someone in the community.
Yes, listen to their story and go, you know what? I know about this. I know the people who are doing it. They're just like you and me. And well, they are just like you and me. They just have a different creative outlet, or they need to be who they were born to be inside. And
Yeah.
not only that, I also believe everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in that too.
If you have been born in the wrong body for whatever reason that you feel like that, or you are adamant, that's fine. Either way, that's probably a bad choice of words, but I think you get the message what I'm trying to say. And you want to change, then do it.
Yeah.
It is destiny. It's the universe telling you that, you know what, you need to do this for a reason, and you're going to learn a lesson from it, or there's a life lesson in it for you, or because I do believe you get reborn and come back again. Old souls come back to earth and everything like that. Our spirit lives on, and I think it's such an important thing to just be mindful of each other, accept each other, and you know what? It doesn't matter who the person goes to bed with between
100%.
with the genitals. Doesn't matter.
I remember when the same-sex marriage vote was going through, and my dad's an old school man, right? Cis white male, right? Putting it out there. You paint a picture in your head, but he turned around and said, "What gives me the right as a straight man to vote on who can and can't get married?" Obviously, my parents voted yes, but who gives me the right to do that? It doesn't have anything to do with me who marries who goes to bed with who, and why should that matter? Like, I'm not in that relationship, so it doesn't affect me, then why should I be worrying about that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's from a man of the 60s with an old school view.
Exactly. And the other thing I'm going to mention... Oh, sorry, I just lost it then. I said that was a good story and I forgot what I wanted to say.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, go on walkies.
I was going to say, though, I only ever speak to my own experience. So if somebody is wanting to learn more, say for instance about the trans community, I will only ever speak from my own experience. I can't speak to anybody else because everybody in the community is different and we all have different questions that we would like to answer, and some of us don't answer every question, and that is totally fair. Don't ever push that on somebody who doesn't want to answer a question. But I am one of those people that is happy to answer anything and nothing is off.
Well, that's true, and I do agree with Samson. He's helped me understand more, and you know what? It's nice to have a really good friend sitting next to me, actually a great person, a human being, that I would never have met if I had a closed mind.
I love you too, Damo.
See? I love him too. He's a lovely person, and it's just amazing. And if you do, you can. You know what? There's two things I'm going to end this section segment on. Actually, three. So one is was a thing about a beer commercial, a beer company talking about green. And I remember this from TAFE. They used to talk about greenwashing. And you think about greenwashing, like the companies pretend to be green, but on one side, but the other side doesn't.
Yeah, right.
You can put wokeism into that, like, this is woke and this is bad, but really, you're just putting this to one side. There's a whole lot of other issues and things going on behind the scenes that are actually beneficial for everybody.
Yeah.
And that's the part we want to take. I mean, if like the beer company was something about a forest or donating money to, you know what, that's a good thing to grow our forests. We should do that. I don't understand why people are up in arms about it, and it's because people don't understand.
The only thing I will say about deforestation is they're doing that by using paper straws, and paper straws are fucking awful.
They are. They're really bad.
I mean, I get it. Save the turtles, you know what? That is 100% okay, but majority of the trash in the ocean is caused by fishing. So it's not bloody plastic straws that are floating around the whole ocean getting stuck in turtles' noses. Paper straws. Please invent something different. Biodegradable plastic. I don't care. Don't make it out of fucking paper. It just goes soggy and gross, and nobody wants to be eating paper while they're drinking a drink.
Well, you never know.
I mean, if you're into that,
That's right. You do.
no qualms on you.
Too funny. Too
Paper
funny.
straws.
And that's gold. That's gold. And I suppose the other thing is the just understand the issue at hand and do some research yourself. And as I said, just go and investigate something before you have an opinion on it. Before you go, you know what, I believe this. And the other thing is too, and I've learnt this the hard way and going through breakdowns and things, is people are really open if you ask a question. Like I've got, you got friends at work or other places you go to, and they're from international countries, and you go, I always ask them, because I'm interested, because I'd like to know, like, what's your heritage, where you're from. I'd like to, because and most people do not find that offensive, because you're asking, because you're inquiring about their background and you want to learn about them. Yeah. And I think that's such an important thing. It's just the same thing. You can put that across any context,
Well, yeah. For instance, like if you're asking somebody who looks a bit alternative and you're not sure of what pronouns they use, you could always just ask them, what pronouns do you use? Instead of going, oh, who are you, or what are you? Like, are you a man or a woman? And it's like, well, there's more than two genders in this world, but that's another topic for another day.
Hey, you!
Yeah, but just ask them nicely. Just be like, oh, what pronouns do you use? And you'll find that opens up a conversation, and people are more susceptible to talking to you if you ask nicely.
That's right. Yeah. Yes. And the other thing I was going to say is that, and also most people are happy to share that information. I just think it's wonderful, and you learn something about them, and you also are gaining knowledge for yourself, and that's very special, because you go, oh, and what do you celebrate, or what's your culture, what's your heritage, and you can go down that whole backward pathway, and it's same across anything. And the my last thing, was bias, personal bias. Yes. We all have personal bias.
Yes. Don't ever let them get in the way.
Our brains are wired from children to take shortcuts, to build profiles of people in a few minutes. You could take shortcuts to go, I'll pull a bit from this, a bit from there, a bit from here. And you know what? It's usually wrong.
And also, particularly in the work that I do, I find that, and one of the things that they teach you when you're doing, like, community services courses are, never let your own personal bias get in the way of your work.
Mm-hmm.
Because, that's just going to be dangerous territory. And having an opinion on something is okay, but if you're pushing that on a young person or the community that you're working with, then that's don't go there. Don't go there.
No, that's right. And I just think that a personal bias with anything is awful, and that's when you still need to do your open thinking and just stop
and be aware of your personal biases.
Well, that's another thing,
because sometimes we aren't aware of our personal biases, and then that's what becomes an opinion. So just be wary.
It's very eloquent.
Also, remember to be woke, because it's not a bad thing.
Not if you're pushing boundaries and asking questions and doing things the right way. And
well, pushing boundaries in a nice way, not pushing boundaries in an awful way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think it's wonderful. And we're really way over time. This has been a big subject to talk about, and I think I should call this the Samson Show. No. But it's really good. And thank you so much for your input, Samson, because I know that I haven't had a chance to read up on everything that's going on, and I know that you have, and you've checked sources and facts, which is...
Well, also, I'm a part of that community, so, it does affect me as well. So.
No, I didn't think that, Sam. So I did not know that.
Oh, no.
Oh, see,
so woke.
So close-minded of me.
Oh,
dear me.
Oh, dear.
That's bad, isn't it? Anyway,
shall we move on?
Well, thank you very much for listening. Our next part is going to be about religion. We're going to move on to our next segment, and we are talking about, not about porn movie this week. We are going to talk about a normal gay film. Oh, shut up. It's the Queenslander in me, all right? It's a Queensland thing.
A banana bender.
Exactly. And also, another thing I have to mention too, it's also National Tim Tam Day today. So,
do you supply any Tim Tams? I don't see any.
No, I had nearly the whole packet this morning.
Oh, rude. You didn't even save some for your mate.
You're too nice. So, have a Tim Tam today if you remember. And have...
Do a Tim Tam Slammer.
No, I'm a traditionalist.
For anyone that doesn't know what a Tim Tam Slammer in Australia, the Tim Tam Slammer is biting a corner out of each Tim Tam, one Tim Tam, and then putting it in a hot drink and sucking it through the Tim Tam so all the inside of the Tim Tam melts. Apparently it's really good. I don't like hot drinks, so it's not for me, and I'd rather my Tim Tams in the freezer. I love them freezing cold.
I like them cold too. And also, that's probably another woke moment, but that's all right.
We're so woke.
We are. We're
so woke.
So with it, aren't we? Is it hip to be square? Anyway.
To be square.
All right, so on to our next segment, and we'll see you all soon.
Welcome to the Raunchy Review with Brizzy Bear Damo.
And welcome to our next segment. And so to this LGBTI film is called Socket. And it's plug in and get off. So it is in Australia, it's rated MA 15+ for strong sex scenes, sexual references and coarse language. I'm just reading the cover now. So on the front, it's got entertaining, a terrific sense of humour, sexy sci-fi film worth plugging into. And it's probably one of the first LGBTI non-porn movies I bought. And I actually really find it really interesting. So basically, a guy gets hooked onto electricity I can't remember why now, but he's having electroshocks and things, and then something happens to him and he ends up getting a plug put into his body, electricity plug, and then he wires himself into the wall and plugs himself in and gets high from the electricity surging through his body. Then he meets other people who plug themselves in and gets shocks from, and they have a whole group of them, and they're all getting off on electrical sex. And then I think at the end of the movie, yes, the guy is very cute, the guys are very hot, and there's a lot of sex scenes and literally flying electricity everywhere. And then at the end of it, I believe the guy then dies. Because he gets overloaded with electricity and he gets killed. But if you have a chance to watch the movie, it is released in Australia at least by QC Cinema. And it is a really interesting film. I just find the whole idea of, plugging in to electricity and having different experience of surges interesting for a science fiction film, and especially for a gay one as well. So it puts a very new meaning to electrosex, and I will give this one a 4-star out of 5. Alright everybody, we're moving on to our next segment, which is the Bear Watch news and upcoming events around Australia and New Zealand. Thanks for listening. Welcome to Bear Watch News and Community Notice Board with Samson.
Welcome to Bear Watch News and Community Notice Board with myself, Samson. So we'll start with here in Queensland, Sportsman's Hotel. On Wednesday, the 19th and the 26th of February, we have the Season 4 of Queer Sister Karaoke Competition starting at 9 p.m, and that is hosted by DJ Merlin and Cartier Lou King. On Thursday, the 20th and the 27th of February, we have VIP Thursdays. Shows are at 7 and 8 p.m, hosted by Henny Spaghetti and Mandy Moobs. Friday, the 21st and the 28th of February, we have Balls Out Bingo and Karaoke downstairs. Balls Out Bingo is generally hosted by Gayleen Tuckwood, and karaoke is hosted by Princess Paula and George Starr. And then also upstairs, we have Fabba Fridays, which is hosted by Miss Synthetic. And then we'll go across to Bootco. Saturday, the 1st of March, Bootco presents Mardi Gras in the Bunker, 9 p.m. till late. 2 a.m. is the late time. Parade viewing party from 8 p.m. DJ Buzz on the decks from 9 p.m. $10 for non-members and $5 for members. Then we go across to Brisbane's Sunday, the 2nd of March, Sunday social at 2 p.m. Brunswick Hotel with the singing live from Daryl Murphy. Queensland Camping Bears, Saturday, the 22nd of February, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Queensland Camping Bears end of summer pool party. Currently sold out, so I just wanted to mention that, but it should be a good day for the Camping Bears. And then on Sunday, the 2nd of March at 8 a.m, they have the Mount Me 4x4 Day at the Garrity at Mount Me, which is on Selland Road in Mount Me. Harbour City Bears. Just wanted to say condolences to the Harbour City Bears. They lost one of their members, Muzz. Rest peacefully, Muzz, and you will be missed in the community. Saturday, the 1st of March, Harbour City Bears have their parade entry, which is for Mardi Gras. 6 p.m, they're meeting at 248 Oxford Street, Paddington, which is also known as the Oxford. Then the kickoff for Mardi Gras parade will start at 7:30 p.m. Vic Bears, Tuesday, the February 18th and the 25th of February, there is Bears Be Walking, which is at the Walker Fountain, starting arrival of 6:15 p.m. and a 6:30 p.m. start, which is in the corner of St Kilda Road and Lincolngo Avenue, South Melbourne. Saturday, the 22nd of February, they have their Den Night at the Lead, which is at 149 Gips Street, Abbotsford, from 5 p.m. 7:30 p.m. barbecue. Members' draw will be drawn. Door prizes for every entry through the door. Meat tray raffle. And also DJ David Vagona from 8 p.m. on the decks. And then on Sunday, the 2nd of March, Aquabear at 11:15 a.m. at Richmond Recreation Centre, which is 11 to 15 Gleedell Street in Richmond. Sunday, the 2nd of March also, Bears Be Eaten at 12:30 p.m. at the Sporting Globe in Richmond, which is at 288 Bridge Road, Richmond. And then we go to Bear Men of Adelaide. Sunday, February 23rd at 11:30, they're having a winery afternoon at Pariti Wines, which is 13 to 23 Clacton Road, Dover Gardens. Then to our friends in the West, Perth Bears, Saturday the 22nd of February at 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Bears Big Pool Party. It's an 18 plus event, $15 to $20 for tickets. And over to our neighbours in New Zealand, they have no events running by the Bears in New Zealand for that fortnight. That is it for Bear Watch News and Community Notice Board. Till next time.
And welcome back. We're closing out this this fortnight's show. Thank you very much for listening all the way through if you have. And we will see you for your next part series. I'm going to say that was really funny, Samson. The Queensland Camping Bears are meeting at Mount Me. I wish some of them would mount me.
Love it.
So that'd be so great, you know. Oh, some of them are very beautiful. All right. Love you all, though. Very nice.
And remember to be bold,
be brave,
be Beary,
and enjoy the sling. Goodbye.
Bye.